What's goody? It's Mizzy MMA back with another video. Today we're gonna be ranking all the NFL teams in the NFL. Like this is like a regular season ranking. This isn't like a preseason ranking because most of the starters don't play in the preseason, so we can't really base what football teams are gonna look like off of the preseason. So yeah, let's get started. First team we have the Arizona Cardinals. I just see them as just a very mid team, a team that isn't gonna do or go very far, in my opinion, or do anything. They're just a very middle of the ladder team. Kyler Murray, their quarterback, he's good enough to win them a couple games every year, but he's definitely not good enough to carry a team to a playoffs, especially a team that looks like how the Cardinals look right now. They just don't look great right now. They don't have many weapons. I mean, they have Marvin Harrison and they have Trey McBride, and that's about it. So their team isn't very good. They're not built to make the playoffs. They're built to be like the eighth pick or something like that. They're gonna have another, I feel like, top 10-ish pick this year. I feel like they're gonna be around there. So yeah, that's my opinion on the Cardinals. Next to the Falcons, I'll put them in I tier because they could make the playoffs. They could make the wild card, but I don't see them going any farther. And they do have a relatively new quarterback in Michael Penix, so I'm not exactly putting a lot of trust into the Falcons to do much this year. But I do think their roster is good enough to be 9-8 or 8-9 again, but I don't think it's enough to make the wild card. So yeah. On to the next team. We have the Baltimore Ravens. That's an easy one seed. Uh their team got better again. So after they improved last season, they improved again. Now, I don't know if they're gonna like win the Super Bowl. I don't think they're gonna win the Super Bowl, but I do think they're gonna be a first seed in the AFC, and they could honestly go like 15-2, 16-1. That's the type of team. I don't see them losing to too many teams until the playoffs. So yeah, I mean, easy first seed. And the Bills will slide them right in the Super Bowl hopefuls. They are a Super Bowl contending team. In my opinion, they are 110% a Super Bowl contending team. I believe that they have the second or third best odds of making the Super Bowl out of the AFC. They should make the championship game. I do have faith in them to make the championship game, but I don't have faith in them going any farther than that. So yeah, on to the Panthers. They're going like bottom of mid tier. They could be shit, but I feel like there are worse teams than them in the league for sure. So I can't put them any lower than that. I mean, there definitely are way worse teams, but they are pretty bad. I mean, Bryce Young's nothing special. Their core, lack thereof a core, actually, really just doesn't help them. I just feel like their team's too irrelevant. I don't know too much about the Panthers. Like, they're just not a great team. They're not a good team. They don't have good receivers, O-line. They trade away Brian Burns. They got rid of it's just bad. It's just bad. It's just bad. It's just bad. The Bears, they're going in I tier. They're just like they're like the off-season MVPs every year, but I don't see too much changing from what the Bears usually are. Probably like an 8-9 or 7-10 season. There isn't a whole lot else I can say than that. I mean, their team's just not good enough at least yet to make a push for the playoffs or the wild cards. So yeah. For my first wild card team, I'm actually going with the Bengals. I think the Bengals are gonna do enough to make the wild card or just miss it. They're like, actually, hold up. That's what we're gonna do. All right, we're gonna put them in good non-playoff team because that's what they're gonna be. They're gonna be a good non-playoff team. I don't think they're gonna be good enough to make a wild. They could make a wild card run. And theoretically, they should probably make a wild card run. Um, I mean, yeah, they could make a card run, but I don't think they're gonna do it because their defense is too shit. I don't know if they've given Trey Hendrickson a contract yet, but they probably should. And they spent way too much money on keeping their elite receivers, so now they're gonna be in cap hell. I mean, geez, that's all I can say. The Browns, they're going in shit tier. I mean, they could have their own tier. That's how bad they are. Like, genuinely, they're gonna be the worst team in the league, probably. I don't think there's another team that really has a chance to be as bad as the Browns this year. They're gonna be pretty bad to watch. And it's gonna be really entertaining. I'm gonna keep my tabs in, for sure, for sure. My first wild card team is gonna be the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, it's my favorite team, but man, do I hate watching them, bro. It's like painful. It's like more pain to actually, watch and enjoy the games than it is just to be a fan. It's crazy, bro. Like it hurts, bro. It hurts to be a Cowboys fan. We're in cap hell. If we can't get Micah, if we don't re-sign Micah, then I'm gonna move us to just a good non-playoff team. But if we can re-sign Micah, which I think we will, we'll just be a wild card team. We're gonna get fucking shellacked in the wild card round. So yeah. Um I expect some regression from the Broncos. I'm not gonna lie. I think they're gonna regress a little bit. They're just not gonna they're not gonna be on the level of a Bengals, I don't think, or like kind of be like that. You feel me? Like they're just not gonna be that good. I feel like they definitely got a bit lucky last year. They definitely won some games they definitely had no business winning. So, I mean, I expect some regression. I mean, I just don't expect them to be that lucky. I expect their defense to take a little step back. I expect Bo Nix to take a step forward, but it'll kind of just the step back from the defense. I feel like the rest of the team's not going to be able to propel them into the playoffs. So I just think they're going to be an all right team. They're not going to be anything special. Um, I'm struggling here because I believe the Lions are like bottom of Super Bowl hopefuls to top of wild card. I'll put Super Bowl hopefuls because I do believe they are Super Bowl hopefuls. They should be in contention to win a Super Bowl for the near future, even though they do have Jared Goff as quarterback, who I don't believe is a good enough quarterback to get the job done in the playoffs. I do believe they should have hope to make this. And yeah, the Green Bay Packers will throw them right in wild card above the Cowboys. I mean, they're gonna be a good wild card team. They're gonna be a wild card team. I don't think they're gonna be better necessarily than the Lions because their team just isn't as good as them. They're gonna be a great team. They're gonna be better than the Bears and most likely better than the Vikings. So yeah, I mean, that's what I got to say about the Packers. They're going to be a good team. They could, I think they're going to lose in the second round again. They probably will win their wild card game, but I don't think they're going to make it any farther than the divisional round. And then we have the Texans. I mean, they're in the AFC South. That division's pretty weak. So, I mean, the Texans are in a pretty weak division. So, I don't expect too much. I mean, yeah, so they're in a pretty weak division, and I think the Texans are going to win out their division. I don't think it's going to be necessarily like close or anything. I do believe that they're going to win their division, but I don't think they're going to go any farther than that. We saw the playoffs. CJ Stroud threw like 4 picks, so or was that Justin Herbert who threw like 4 picks? I don't know. Either way, I mean, I just don't think their team's good enough to be Super Bowl hopefuls. They're going to be a wild card team. The Indianapolis Colts. I'm like in between good playoff team and I'll put them in I. They're not gonna be a good playoff team. I mean, a good non-playoff team. Um, I just don't see them being that sticking out that much in the crowd. I mean, Anthony Richardson's a bust, sadly. I think it's time we have to admit that. I mean, especially after this year, if he doesn't do good, then he's a confirmed bust. All the talent, all the stuff is there, but he's just not a great football quarterback. So it's sad to admit, but it's just what it is, sadly. Um, the Jaguars are going right in shite, dude. They're a really bad team. In my opinion, they have no core, don't have a good quarterback. They have Travis Hunter. They have Josh Allen. They have Trayvon. Where the fuck that dude's name is, bro? Tra Trayvon Wallace or something? I don't know. Their team's ass though. They don't have any core to build around really. So unless you want to build around still waiting to break out Trevor Lawrence and rookie Travis Hunter, there isn't a lot to get excited about. Jacksonville. So they're going to shit tier. I mean, they're above the Browns, but it's not really saying anything. The Chiefs Super Bowl hopefuls are throwing right back up there. I mean, I'd be surprised if the Chiefs don't at least make it to the AFC Championship game. I have them as the second best chance, or I think they have the best chance to make the Super Bowl out of all the AFC teams. It's just a question of how, or if their offense is good enough. Will the Super Bowl still be on their mind this season? Just just eluding the three-peat. Will that be on their mind? That's the question that we have to figure out. Now, right on cue, we get the Chargers. This is a wild card team. They're going to be a good wild card team. They're not good enough to be a Super Bowl hopeful, but they are going to be a really good football team. They have a good head coach. They have a good quarterback. And then the rest of the team is just all right. They have Lad McConkey. They should have an upgraded one run game from last year. I think their team should do nothing but slightly improve because their team slightly improved. I expect them to slightly improve and play a more cleaner game of football, not be so reliant on the pass. And yeah, so I hope that can happen. I do have hopes. That's a sleeper team. The Chargers are a sleeper team to make it to a championship game because they can definitely. It's a one game. It's one game you win. So in football, anything can happen. I could definitely see them potentially making a championship game, but I also could see them possibly just being one and done in the playoffs as well. Like it's really just you never know. So yeah, they're gonna be a pretty decent wild card team. I'm in between having them as like the best NFC team to not make the wild card or just the worst wild card. I think they're gonna be a wild card team. I just don't like the Rams are too like they've made it like the past 2 or 3 years, despite the fact they were supposed to be going into a rebuild. And I don't see that necessarily changing because they have Puka Nacua, they have good defense, they have Matthew Stafford. That should be good enough to like parlay into a wild card game, I feel like. So yeah, and they were able to upset the Vikings last year. So they definitely are a legit team, I feel like still. Even though last year the Vikings weren't, I feel like they are a legit team. And they can give every team in the playoffs a good run for their money. Not necessarily win, but they always put up a good fight in the playoffs regardless of who they play. The Raiders, they're just gonna be an all right team. I feel like they're like they have upgraded a lot of positions. They have a quarterback now, Geno Smith. They have Ashton Genty upgraded their defense a little bit, but then they released Christian Wilkins, which means he's no longer on the roster, which means the defense Loki kind of just all the improvement they made kind of like it hinders a bit. I haven't looked into totally why Christian Wilkins was released, but yeah, I mean, which is crazy. They're gonna be at not top of all right, but probably like middle of the pack. Yeah, they're not gonna be better than the Broncos, I don't think so. Yeah, we put them right. I'm debating. I think they'd be a wild card team if Tua's healthy the whole year, but that's a big if. If Tua's not healthy, they're not gonna win a lot of games. So I'll put them in good non-playoff teams. I feel like Tua at some point will miss a couple games, and that's gonna cost them the playoffs. And they also don't play good in cold weather either, so take that how you will. The Vikings, again, good non-playoff team. They're gonna be a good non-playoff team. They're just above the Bears in my opinion. They're gonna finish third in my opinion. They're gonna be better than the Bears, I think, because the Bears just have that culture of losing. It is their culture, and it's just what it is. The Bears have a culture of not winning games. I think that culture is gonna continue into the season. The New England Patriots are gonna go right at mid. They're not. They're gonna be better than the shit teams, but they're still in that category of pretty real, not good teams. They're just not good. So we'll just put them right in mid because they're a mid team. The Saints are going right into shit too. They are a shitty team. They don't have a quarterback. They have some decent weapons, and that's it. They have Tyler Sherrill. Their quarterback's gonna be like 28 by the time he actually starts playing games in the NFL. They have Spencer Rattler too. Could have drafted Shador, but they drafted Tyler Sherrill. Whole franchise disaster. Derek Carr retired, so I mean, yeah, this whole franchise is just a disaster pretty much. Their cap is in literal hell that it probably will never escape from in our lifetime because they are just the worst financial team in the league. They decided to play all their future players in the future, but they all turned out to be pretty shit. So yeah, we'll put the New York Giants at the top of mid tier. I don't think they're gonna be. They're not bad enough to be a shit tier, a shit team, a shit tier team, and they're not bad enough to be a bottom tier or even middle team, mid team. They're not good enough to be an iron team. They're gonna be a mid team, but they're gonna be like the best mid team in the league. They're gonna go like 6-11, 7-10, something like that. Maybe 5-12. They're just not gonna be good. They're gonna be mid. So yeah. And the reason why I don't have mid as an actual mid, like middle team, is because to me, I just feel like mid is now has like a thing as like below all right, because mid just sounds worse than just middle of the pack. So yeah. The Jets, they'll be an I team. They're not gonna be super shitty. They're not gonna be as bad as last year. They're not gonna be good though. Honestly, we put them at the top of mid tier because Justin Fields' floor is really low, but I don't know what his ceiling really is yet. He could be a solid quarterback for the Jets, but I have my doubts. Eagles are going to the first seed. Their team was great last year. They got better this year, so I mean, shit. Sometimes you're just gonna be a good team. They're gonna be a great team. We'll just toss the Steelers to bottom of the wild card. That's probably where they're gonna be. Top of a good, either top good non-playoff team or bottom wild card, and they're probably gonna be bottom wild card because that's where they stay every year. They stay usually in between these two right here every year. So they just play ping pong with a good non-playoff team or wild card pretty much. And we're gonna toss the Seahawks right in the middle of all right tier because that's what they're gonna be, just all right. Nothing good, nothing fancy. They don't have anything crazy going for them. I think they signed Sam Darnold, but I don't remember. Yeah, not great. Then we have the San Francisco 49ers now. This is a tough team because they could be as high as a Super Bowl favorite, but we don't know what their team's gonna look like. That's the big thing. So I'll put them in like I'll put them in Super Bowl hopefuls because I feel like they were too injured last year to really tell. I think they are still a Super Bowl contending team. They still have Super Bowl in mind team. Uh, I don't know. I'm still kind of in between on them. Feel me? I don't know. The Buccaneers, they are a wild card team. Like whether you like it or not, they're gonna be a wild card team. They're gonna be a pretty good one. They're gonna win their division. So honestly, since they're winning their division, I'll put them at the bottom of Super Bowl hopefuls. They should be hopeful to make the Super bottom of the barrel, like hopeful team, but it's definitely a possibility for sure. So yeah, you have the Commanders. They had a pretty good run, but I do feel like it was a little Cinderella. I'll put them in good but non-playoff team. I feel like they're gonna take a step back. Something's itching me saying the Commanders aren't gonna be as good as many people think this year. I have them just barely missing out on the playoffs. Last but certainly probably the least liked team in the NFL. Like least people like the team in the NFL. The Tennessee Titans. All right, and they're going right in shite tier, even though they drafted Cam Ward. They're gonna be the best shit team, but they're gonna be shit. So yeah, if y'all like this video, y'all want to see more like it, let me know in the comments below. If you want to see more tier list videos, you want to see more MMA videos, baseball, story times, you name it, I'll do it. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. Mizzy May out.